What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode number 2 of 5 franchises in 5 nights. And in this episode, I'm going to go ahead and start a franchise with the Sacramento Kings, a very interesting team, a team with a lot of potential, a team with a lot of good pieces, but a team that essentially is made up, other than those pieces, with a bunch of glorified role players and some missing pieces, especially a head coach that can gel well with the team, especially a man known as Demarcus Cousins, who doesn't gel well with many people, but has the basketball talent of a god, basically. I mean, Demarcus Cousins is incredible. He is the main reason I did this franchise, although I like the combo between him and Rajon Rondo. I'm a fan of Rudy Gay. I think he doesn't get enough credit whatsoever. Omri Cosby went off for like 36 on the Golden State Warriors of all teams. I mean, this team definitely has some potential. Like Ben McLemore, he's all right. Marco Bellinelli kind of proves that when you go to the San Antonio Spurs, you get built up as a great player because Popovich has a built-in system that, without fail, succeeds and makes players look better than they actually are. And then you send him to the Sacramento Kings, and he is not doing well over there, although he has a lot of talent. He's a sharpshooter for sure. You also have players like Seth Curry, as you see over here as I set the minutes. Seth Curry is obviously Steph Curry's brother. Clearly there's some potential there. And obviously he's a sharpshooter just like his brother is, but not nearly as good so far. We're not going to take anything away from him. We are going to go ahead and face off against the Houston Rockets, a team which is funny because I was actually considering doing them before I did the Kings. The Houston Rockets, they have their own issues. I mean, I'm not a fan of James Harden personally. I do understand that he is the best one-on-one player in the league, basically. But when you play half-ass defense and you're giving up a majority of possessions on defense and you're playing horrible help defense and people are running right by you, you're ultimately giving up more points on defense than you are making on offense, and that is why James Harden is not the greatest player in the world when he gives up so many points. Here's another Demarcus Cousins sighting. 1 minute or 2 minutes into the game, 2-4 is the score, now 4-4. But yes, I think this was a good matchup, so that's why I decided to pick it, to show you guys the Kings and what they're really capable of. But ultimately, the Houston Rockets are the superior team, so we're going to have to use some fancy antics to keep up with them. But let's get into this Sacramento team. As you see, the score 9-9 so far, and Dwight Howard versus Demarcus Cousins is the big matchup in this game. Although I did some other matchups, the Kings do not have many perimeter defenders, as you see another Demarcus Cousins move because he's so good. But yeah, the Kings do not have many perimeter defenders. Rajon Rondo is pretty good, but what I had to do in this situation was I had to put Rudy Gay on James Harden. The reason being is because, number one, Rudy Gay is taller than James Harden. He's about 3 inches taller at 6'8". Number two, he's more athletic than James Harden, so he can keep up with him on the paint and on the perimeter. And number three, he's a pretty good defender. I mean, he's not the best by any means, but he's pretty decent. That's why I feel like Rudy Gay he gets the short end of the stick when it comes to players criticizing what the Kings are doing right now. Rajon Rondo is a different story. As we see over here, Rajon Rondo playing pretty good defense, but no go at the end. 23-20 as we head into the second quarter in this pretty tightly contested game. But yeah, Rajon Rondo has attitude problems. I think that's pretty obvious. So now you have a twosome of Demarcus Cousins and Rajon Rondo. Pretty bad when it comes to attitude. I mean, you look at guys, as you see Seth Curry with a nice little pass from Darren Collison, another good player on this Sacramento team. But yeah, you combine Rajon Rondo and you combine Demarcus Cousins, and you have a team that's almost uncoachable when your two main stars basically don't want to take any direction from your coaches and do things on their own. Demarcus Cousins has been trying lately, but ultimately he still has some issues, and I think that if you get the right coach with Demarcus Cousins, he could be a beast. I mean, Demarcus Cousins averaging 27 points right now. Just think about that. Just think about how incredible that really is. That's unheard of in today's game, to have a big man averaging 27. I mean, the only other option I would think is Anthony Davis, as he's out for the season. But let me stop right there and say this. This is why I put Rudy Gay on James Harden. James Harden, one of the best, most prolific scorers in the league, but he has his own issues, as we mentioned. But Rudy Rudy Gay absolutely killing it and finishing with this beautiful LeBron-esque dunk. Rudy Gay was a staple for me in this game, and I used him well. Here we go, another Rudy Gay sighting, getting the steal, paying off on the defensive end. He is not only a defensive player, as we see Rudy Gay, who not only gets the steal, but for the second possession, gets the steal and leads to the points. Beautiful. Now we're going to go ahead and play our offense right through a man known as Demarcus Cousins. My God, the guy backs down, cleans up his own offensive board, and finishes with the dunk in the paint. Gotta love it. My favorite big man in the league right now. Him and Andre Drummond are probably tied, but I really, really like Demarcus. As you see the halftime stats, 37-37. As I mentioned, a very close game. But yes, in terms of the bench for the Sacramento Kings, here's where we start to run into a bit of even bigger issues for the Kings. When it comes to the bench, they don't really have many options. Yes, they have Omri Caspi, who is very underrated in my opinion for what he gets paid. He's doing a great job. And yes, you have Darren Collison. By the way, another Demarcus Cousins sighting. No one's surprised about that. But yes, the bench for the Kings is lackluster. I mean, like I mentioned, you got Omri Caspi and you got Darren Collison, two great players. But there are also some minor or some major holes, let's put it that way, that prevents them from going very far. Also, they need a starting four, which is very well documented for the Kings. Another Demarcus Cousins sighting. Are you surprised at this point? Because I'm not. Here we go in the fourth quarter. 62-63 is the score. We are losing by 1 point. This game has been very, very tightly contested. As you see, another dunk by Demarcus Cousins. Spoiler alert, Demarcus ends up with 36, I believe, in this game. Just dominating. Here's another and one for Demarcus Cousins. Gotta love it. Like I mentioned, just a beast. And there's an assist for Demarcus. You just make everything happen. When you play against the Kings, you know that they're going to use Demarcus Cousins as their first option, as they should. And here we go with James Harden, who does have some clutch attributes in his ratings. So he's going to start to show up. By the way, James Harden was locked down this entire game. But now with 2 minutes left to go in the game, it looks like, as you see him flexing like Draymond Green, James Harden is going to start to go off a little bit. And this is where we start to, go down against the better teams. This is where we can't really keep up with the better teams. As you see, we're losing by 6 points, but we end up managing to get the ball to Willie Cauley-Stein, who's a pretty good player as well. Very tall, about 7'3", I believe. Huge player, but He's raw. He's raw, and he has a lot of things to go over and improve upon. But he's going to be a good talent in the future, I believe. A solid role player, if not better. But yes, as we mentioned, we are losing right now, and they end up getting a foul. 75-73 is the score. Trevor Ariza with the ball, trying to make 2 free throws. Hopefully he misses one, but he ends up making the first. That's not good. 76-73, and he makes the second free throw. Not too good for us. We need to make something happen to keep up with this superior Houston Rockets team, and we get it to who else but Demarcus Cousins. I mean, you already know his name. Demarcus Cousins, just a beast right now. 36 points in the game, as I mentioned before. Just killing it. We are losing by 2 points. We need to make a stop right now. And look who gets the ball, who gets caught up on a screen by Dwight Howard of all people. James Harden with a wide open shot. He makes it. And we end up with a bad position in the game. As you see, James Harden celebrating with his teammates. I need to make something happen. Ben McLemore, please make this layup. Please make this layup. He misses the layup. And now, for some reason, I can't get an intentional foul until the very end. And game over. I tried my best with this Sacramento team, but ultimately we end up losing by 4 points, I believe. And ultimately, it was a good game. But yes, as I mentioned, the Sacramento Kings have their own issues. They need a starting 4, they need a starting 2, and they need a better bench and also a better coach. But other than that, you got Rajon Rondo, who looks to be leaving. You got Demarcus Cousins, who also looks to be leaving in about 2 years when his contract is up. They might consider trading him because they can't get much else for him. As you see, Rudy Gay was more of a defensive player for me, and Demarcus Cousins with 36. The man cannot be stopped. He is the only reason that the Sacramento Kings are where they are. Otherwise, they would be at the bottom of the league with the 76ers and the LA Lakers. Either way, guys, I want to thank you for watching. New episodes to come shortly 5 franchises in 5 nights. The next video we will see, I have many options. It'll be short and it'll be out very shortly. I want to thank you for watching. As always, please leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.